Every time I say that number, it blows me away. We're now joined by Fox Sports contributor Rob Parker.
Hey, by the way, very quickly, Rob did win a bet with our Chris Broussard, his radio partner, because he took the Nationals to win the World Series. Way to go, Rob. And you won a pair of
What'd you win?
Jordans.
A pair of Jordans that Chris could have to come out of his pocket.
You mean to tell me you don't want the Kawhi New Balances?
Yeah.
You don't want them?
You know what?
Look at that.
If you need to change the bet, I'm sure.
You know what? I'm going to stick with the Jordans.
These would be out of Chris's price range, but that's
all right.
All right.
Chris
On that
is gonna be
note,
in trouble with his wife. He's going to have to buy me Jordans.
all right, you're going to have to bring those shoes out next time you're here.
Yes.
But, Rob, what does it tell you that the Nationals won without Harper?
I know it's easy. I know everybody's going to bang on Bryce Harper. It's very easy. Oh, he left, and now they won the World Series. They didn't need him. Bryce Harper had a very good season with the Phillies. Career high in RBIs, 35 home runs, second most. He did what he normally does. When you get to this point, the World Series, and trying to win big, it always comes down to the same thing. Pitching and defense, not hitting. Astros had the better lineup, right? They couldn't win one.
I mean, it didn't look like it.
No, it didn't. But on paper, I'm saying they did.
Hey, Juan Soto is serious business, though.
Oh no, he's a great player, and he's only 20, just turned 21. Look at when they beat the Dodgers. Who had the better lineup and the more potent offense? It was the Dodgers.
Okay.
But here we saw the pitching. Strasburg, that first overall pick, who they didn't play in the playoffs early on in his career. And remember, he was criticized
Put him
big
on a pitch
time.
count.
Yep.
Exactly. And he didn't play in a chance when they had a good team to win the World Series. He came through big. That's why he was the MVP of the World Series. He won 2 games. Game 6 in Houston for all the marbles, right?
Yep.
Could have been eliminated. You saw Corwin also last night pitch great in relief.
He did.
And Scherzer, right, had a bad neck, was scratched from a World Series game.
Right.
He shows up, and
He
what
pitched
does he
his
do?
guts out.
He pitched his guts. You hold your opponent to 2 runs on the road. You give your team a chance to come back. So when you look at it, I know everybody is very easy. He's gone. You didn't have to pay him the $330 million. You won in spite of him. But I'm telling you, if Bryce Harper would have been on that team and on that roster, it might not have been 7 games. It might have been 5 or 6.
Or they might not have even got there.
You know what I mean? What are you talking about?
They might not have got there.
No, they would have got there. Their pitching is the reason that they won the World Series, not hitting.
For me, when I look at baseball, Skip, stars do not have the same impact in baseball as they do basketball, because I believe stars have the bigger impact. It goes basketball, football, baseball. Because if Mike Trout can't get your ass to the playoffs...
I agree with you. I was just going to bring that up.
If he can't get you to the playoffs, you ain't going.
We saw that with Barry Bonds, right? They couldn't win a World Series.
I'm going to get to that in just a second. That was going to be my first point.
And I got that, Skip.
Yep.
All those years Barry Bonds was in San Francisco, they went to the playoffs 4 times. The season that he hit 73, they didn't make it. In 3 of those 4 times, they got put out in the first round. Now, if Barry Bonds is a star and he can't win you a World Series, what you think Bryce Harper going to do?
But why couldn't Bonds? Because it's always what I just said. It has to do with pitching, but the reason that they won isn't because Bryce Harper wasn't on the team.
Right.
That's all I'm saying is that people are going to say, oh, they won because they didn't sign Bryce Harper. That's not why they won.
Well, what the Nationals did better than the Astros is that they got timely hitting. You know, obviously you need pitching. But, Skip, you look at the 6th and 7th, when they were down, you know, and all of a sudden it's 3-2, it's 6-2. When you hit matters. You know, you can get, hit first couple of innings and then go cold, and then the other team, all of a sudden, they find their bats in the later innings, they go on and win the game. And that's what the Nationals were able to do. They were able to find their bats later in the innings when it mattered, and they came through. Look, in baseball, I think, who was that? Charlie, one of these great general managers said, guy wanted to raise. And he's like, I hit 50 home runs, I got all these RBIs. He's like, what place did we finish? He's like, you finished the last. He's like, well, hell, I can finish there without you.
True.
Bryce Harper.
Okay.
They let Bryce Harper take his $330 million, and then what made it so bad, Skip? He got to the Phillies, I'm going to bring a championship.
But what didn't the Phillies have? They didn't have the quality pitching that
he
you
actually,
need.
in his introductory conference, he misspoke and said, I'm going to bring a championship to D.C., and he did.
He did.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. Oh. He brought it.
Well, he did.
And now he's looking at like Baker Mayfield was looking at those shoes that Odell handed off.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go total cliche here. And for the young people watching us right now, I want you to take note of what happened last night. A road team, for the first time ever in the history of sports, won a 4th road game to win a 7-game series. It's never happened. And what happened at the bottom line was that the Nationals became a we, and with Bryce Harper, they were a he.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
A we. And we saw them doing little kid, high schoolish sort of celebrations in the dugout.
Oh,
right?
I know the driver. They was driving this.
They're shifting, you know, and then every time somebody hit a home run, he gets to walk the little gauntlet, and then they're all
So much
it's just they're dancing and they're having fun because it was a big we thing. It is extraordinary what we pulled off because they were down in every series.
Yes.
They had to beat Hader. They had to beat Kershaw. They were, and I know he's had his problems, but still, they were in huge jeopardy. They started the season 19-31 without Bryce Harper, and everybody's saying, see?
I was going to say, when they were 19-31, everybody didn't say they didn't need Bryce Harper back then.
All right, but the great thing about sports is that a team can just sort of mysteriously, inexplicably take off. And then all of a sudden, once they get on a roll, they think they're going to come back and win every game all the way to Game 7 because it looked like for a while last night they were in huge jeopardy.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, one thing leads to another, and it comes down to Howie Kendrick just hitting a little slice home run. He didn't hit that very well, and it was the key hit of the game against Will Harris. And they had Garrett Cole ready to go, but they went with they danced with who brung him because Will Harris has been lights out through the playoffs. That's his role. So I don't love pitchers getting thrown into some weird relief role. So he comes in, and what happened? Howie, it's like meant to be.
Yeah.
He hits a slice down the right field line that just catches the foul ball.
Yep.
Okay?
And he also had the big grand slam against the
It was
Dodgers.
huge.
Howie Kendrick.
Okay, I got all that. I'm going to defend Barry Bonds because I covered Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds lifted, that was a mediocre team with mediocre pitching, and he did lift it all the way into a World Series against the Angels, in which they had them. I don't know if you covered it.
I covered it.
Game 6.
2002.
Dusty Baker, what were you thinking? Because he made a pitching change, and I don't want to get, but he took the start. It's like, what are you doing? You've got it.
They got it.
You got it.
Game 6 was it.
And Barry Bonds is up there kind of messing around with the pitcher at home plate because they all thought they had it. But he was the one who lifted him. He was a game changer. He batted 500. He was the greatest hitter I ever saw. Yeah. It's not even close. No. When you look at those years of his walks to strikeouts to home runs, it was impossible. Had the greatest eye at the plate we've ever seen.
One pitch.
And also, in a weird way, and I covered those teams, he was a natural-born leader by example, not by deed, because he was difficult with the media, but just the way he carried himself. I know his team. I talked to all of them. They would look in the dugout like, we got Barry Bonds, and they don't.
Right.
So we're going to.
I never heard anybody, players, not respect him as a ball player.
Yeah, Buck Showalter walked the guy with the bases loaded.
Yes.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Okay, and he did win 8 Gold Gloves.
8 Gold Gloves, yeah.
Okay, to me, he was the greatest.
7 MVPs?
Greatest position player ever, and that's to me not even close. Yeah. So he lifted mediocre teams to as far as you said that he lifted.
Right.
Bryce Harper doesn't have natural-born leader in him. To me, he's a solo act, and you can differentiate because solo acts. And I like Trout, but I don't feel leadership from him. I don't feel like he's changing their life where they say we've got Trout and you don't. There's something because Barry had mystique about him. Barry, through that one year that I covered when he was sitting in 73, he would get maybe 3 pitches a night, 2 pitches a night, and whatever they were, he would hit them hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
One might leave the ballpark.
One might leave, and the other one might hit the wall.
It's going to McCovey Kobe. They don't even show McCovey Kobe anymore.
Right.
So the bottom line is Bryce Harper is not Barry Bonds.
No.
I'm sorry.
But he's not. I'm gonna defend Bryce Harper. He is a talented baseball player. If the Phillies get their pitching in order, that team and that lineup I like. I think if people are going to poo-poo, I believe that Bryce Harper will be a part of a team that wins a championship. With the reason he hasn't been able to do that to the point and why Washington failed all those years before is because they didn't get the lights-out pitching and the big pitching that they got in this series. Right. Strasburg, they all did.
5-0 in the postseason.
Nobody's ever done that.
Nope. Okay.
I mean, that's how you win, Skip.
Meanwhile, your guy Verlander goes to 0-6 in the World Series. Way to go.
For whatever reason, he pitches well in the playoffs all the way up to the LCS. World Series, no good.
No good.
It's tough. That's tough. All right. Rob, we'll bring you back
by the way,
in a bit.
Congratulations to the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
That was riveting stuff.
I totally agree. Yeah, seriously.
I
really
was rooting
good
for the
stuff.
Nationals. Because the Astros beat the Yankees.
Good point.
Thank you for that.
You're not gonna you think I'm gonna root for you after you beat my
Right,
team?
I got you.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.